9 years ago. We still need him alive. But we have to restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us. How long are we gonna press him? If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't expect that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started talking to you like a possessed answering machine. That was a pod built for housing the AI used to control unmanned weapons. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated Pupa, Chrysalis, Cocoon, and Basilisk. And each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a reptile pod. Emmerich created it. It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the Basilisk, aka Peace Walker, also featured a second AI pod. That one was called the Mammal Pod, and it was created by Dr. Strangelove. She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the Mammal Pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining healthy parts. The result was a unique entity, a hybrid of the reptile and the mammal. It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua with Peace Walker. But apparently they salvaged it and transported it to that lab. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither a personality nor a will. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine.
What's that damn collection point? Past it.
Please select a delivery point.
Left them with a little bit less of a functioning base. Just in case I swim back there sometime.
The map has been updated.
Well, we're in the lion's den now.
Analysis complete.
Yeah. You got some C's. East.
Good.
Clouds approaching.
You gotta extract him.
Analysis complete.
An A. Cool. Get 'em. Their average has definitely been going up.
Subject on board.
I guess it's just to keep up the game pace of new challenges and whatnot. Let's see.
Marker placed.
Let's go do whatever comes first. If we take this car, it'll be all over us in no time. Yeah. Good boy, get in the car. Don't want to have to worry about hitting him with the car. You got in the car like a good boy.
interface.
Alright, do I go right? Let's see. Yeah, and then left. Shit.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Sorry, sheepies. You gotta go live on an oil rig. Hot dog. Doge. I think he's still searching for stuff. Alright. Gotta go find this dude.
Extraction arrived at mother base.
Looks like the target. What am I looking at?
Analysis
That's the
complete.
target.
It's a B
Enemy
medical.
presence detected. The map
He's
has
wearing a
been
lot of armor.
updated.
Alright, sneak around the back. He's wearing so much armor that I can't even track him. I guess I'll have to stun arm him or grab him in CQC. There's two of them.
A Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
I don't think body armor's gonna help them survive like a 3,000 volt shock.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Let's get this fool.
The map has been updated.
I'm not gonna extract him with the Alright, phone's dying, so I can't watch the chat no more. But can't pull him out with the sandstorm. So
Clouds approaching.
might as well. I don't leave the mission anyway.
Marker removed. Select unit. Staff dismissed.
Okay. Should be able to extract this guy now. To check this place for resources. It's got nothing.
Side ops list updated.
You gonna extract him?
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Alright, the place I need to go... It's way down there. Where'd I put that car? It's worth it.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Well, might be catching up to these guys. Cool if you can get his supplies or whatever. Alright, let's try to go off-road here. So I think I got... Oh, there's more cassette tapes. Right over our plant, but...
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over. What do you mean? Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes. A warning? Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that. I never said any of that. The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did.
Okay.
And stand up to Cypher. Of all the
Yeah, you can leave it
stupid
open.
things you could do, they'll never
Yeah, it's open
understand
with
what
the
you
top
really
half.
Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss.
Sorry.
Deep
Yeah,
down, they all have their eyes on
Little
nuclear weapons. They say that a
in-person
nuke
chat.
is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business. Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected.
That's the target.
An HEC investigation.
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language,